I just always wanted to be a law enforcement officer from the time I was 9 or 10 years old. I just wanted to be a policeman. I just wanted to be a police officer.
Okay.
And so I went to college and graduated from University of Central Missouri. Back then it was called Central Missouri State. And went to work for the police department in 1972. Stayed there till 2006. I spent the last 6 years as the chief, and then was lucky enough to be selected the chief in Topeka, and spent 8 years there.
Right.
And then this opportunity came along, and it was a good move for everybody, and it just took a long time to get it. Confirmation process takes a while, but got it, and it's a very enjoyable job. Some years ago, I had thought that I might like to be a federal law enforcement officer, but family and life and all that meant that if you became a federal law enforcement officer, in most cases, you get transferred around the country, especially if you want to get up into the management ranks. And so I decided that the best path for me would be local law enforcement agency. And so when the Marshal's position came open due to the retirement of Walter Bradley, he just retired. He was a career employee for many years and retired. And I knew that the Marshals were appointed positions.
Right.
I indicated interest in the position if I would be acceptable. And my name was submitted to the White House, and then I had to go and interview with the DOJ in DOJ Maine in downtown Washington, D.C. I had to go interview with the Department of Justice, U.S. Marshal Service, White House counsel. There's about half a dozen people in that interview. And interviewed with them for about an hour and a half. And apparently they liked what they saw and heard and asked for the background investigation to be started. And then you have to go through the Senate confirmation, and that's a whole different process. And you have to submit paperwork to the Senate Judiciary Committee that reviews your material, and then the Senate Judiciary Committee makes a recommendation to the full Senate. And I was confirmed on, I think on March 22nd. But Senator Roberts and his staff and Senator Moran were very supportive of this effort. And so all marshals serve at the pleasure of the president. And so at some point, you know, whoever the president is may want a different marshal, and that's just part of it. So that's, as long as you know what those are the rules. I did some history. I found out that most marshals in Kansas serve approximately 7 years over the years. Add them all up and divided by the length of time they were in office, and they serve approximately 7 years. So they do, administrations do change, and the marshals stay in office. But it could be you serve at the pleasure of the president. So if the president wants to change, that's the way it goes. But in my case, I've been 43 years almost. And that's a long time. So I'll serve as long as they want me, and hopefully it'll be a while, and I'll be changed when the president so decides.